Housing affordability, a healthcare system that is underserving some residents, and increasingly radical weather. Those are just some of the issues Newfoundland and Labrador has had to grapple with over the course of this past year, and ones that Premier Andrew Furey will likely be focusing on in 2024. He is our guest this morning. Welcome, Premier.
Morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Curious to know how residents are doing because of this storm. So let's start there. What is the latest on the ground?
Well, of course, everybody is quite anxious, as you know, and your viewers know. It's the same area that was impacted by Fiona 2 years ago, or 18 months ago. So everybody is very anxious, but we're watching closely. Municipal leaders have been involved. Public safety has been involved. Our Minister of Public Safety has been involved, and we're just monitoring the situation right now. But everybody has a heightened level of sensitivity and anxiety given the impacts of Fiona, which we're not fully recovered from.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the update. I want to take a look at healthcare. Like all provinces in this country, you are dealing with a crisis in healthcare, in particular for your aging populations and for those who are living in far-flung communities where it's hard to get them services. Back in February, you accepted Ottawa's 10-year healthcare deal, but you said it wasn't the deal that you wanted. And then in the summer, you know, we talked about this, 6 different emergency rooms announced closures due to staffing shortages. Nearly 10 months out, how are you feeling about that deal now?
Of course, we'll always take more money from Ottawa to help with healthcare. Healthcare is a rapidly changing environment. Of course, I know the environment quite well, having come from it. But the truth is, across Canada, whether it's in Newfoundland and Labrador or in Ontario or in British Columbia, we have a system that's largely designed for the 1960s, and we need a massive reimagination and update, a revision of the healthcare system to meet the demands of Canadians in 2023 and beyond. So in Newfoundland and Labrador, we've taken a holistic approach and really come together across stakeholders with a health accord that lays a framework to reimagine a healthcare system, a modern healthcare system to meet the demands of Newfoundlanders and Labradorians in a modern economy. That means embracing virtual technology. It means embracing changing in scope of practice. It means embracing, by the way, a completely different way of looking at primary care. We have developed a series of family care teams across the province, which really is a paradigm shift for how patients receive care in Newfoundland and Labrador. Because the traditional way of hanging a shingle in a small community, seeing patients 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, cradle to grave, that notion just doesn't work anymore. So we've created a team environment which is good for patients, and it's good for medical professionals, including the doctor, by the way, who is not trained to do that anymore and won't practice that way. And so just since May, we've doubled our capacity and doubled the people who have been rostered to these family care teams. And we've really embraced virtual care to ensure that some of those emergency departments you suggested are now being opened and maintained as emergency or urgent care centers. We've also had a really healthy approach to recruitment and retention, both nationally and internationally, that has led to some good success. Upwards of 80 doctors, 70 to 80 doctors being recruited or retained, and 310 nurses. And we also just did one of the best nursing contracts in the province's history, which is designed to help nurses go from casual to full-time employment, and then really take the pressure off those travel nurses that we hear across the country. So there's a lot of different moving pieces to revamp.
A lot of problems to fix.
Yeah, it is, yeah. But you've got me on healthcare, so I can go on that for a while.
Well, I do want to move on to housing, though, before our time is up here. Your government has made boosting affordable housing a priority, whether it's through your 5-point housing plan or the millions that are earmarked to boost development. But the wait list to get access grew by 27% just from March to November. So I guess what people in the province want to know is how long will those be waiting?
Well, so certainly we see this as we see housing from you have to unpackage it into two different buckets, if you will. There's affordable housing, and then there's housing that's affordable. And you have to tackle both at the same time, because it's really a market dynamic issue, a supply-demand issue. So on the affordable housing piece, we've ensured that we are creating new units to support people who would traditionally be in social housing. We've also looked at supplements to their income and a poverty reduction strategy to help maintain them in their units and to help with affordability within the social housing piece. But we've also looked at trying to incentivize developers and making sure that we're putting the right incentives in place on the housing that's affordable side. So middle class people who are trying to buy a new home, which is of course the Canadian dream, which seems to be slipping over the last 2 or 3 years. We're trying to change the marketplace to ensure that that is achievable, whether it's in incentivizing developers or making sure that we're there to support first-time home buyers with low-interest loans to ensure that they can help with closing costs.
Premier Furey, we are out of time, but I want to thank you for giving us the update. Wish you a very Merry Christmas, and we'll check in again on the new year because we still want to talk about these deals for Newfoundland, Labrador, bring some more money into the province, and also take a look at climate change and your changing environment. Good to have you with us.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.